in 2016, the 100th anniversary of the Indianapolis 500, that should be something that we should be able to build momentum off of pretty quickly, don't you think?
Well, we're working on that already.
Sure.
This is a once in 100-year event, right?
Paul was here for the last one, by the way, so he's looking forward to this one.
I feel great about that.
He's going to get you back for that one. We're
really before the weather hit. We'll go back to giving these folks the credit that they deserve. There is already a buzz associated with this event, even though it's an inaugural event. Did you get that impression walking through the paddock yesterday?
I started getting that yesterday about mid-afternoon. You get pretty busy when you're working through your day here. There's a lot to be done with the promoter, with the team owners, everyone else, key sponsors, and you occasionally take a moment and pause and just take it all in. You get to look around, and I got a chance to look across the paddock and across the fan village, and there was traffic there that wasn't there first thing in the morning that makes you know the place is coming alive and the event's going to be successful.
Now, you mentioned a year and a half on the job. Is there any one thing that you can put your finger on that you were totally caught off guard by, something that surprised you? And I'm not saying anything from a negative standpoint. What from a positive standpoint impressed you the most that maybe you weren't prepared for, if you could put your finger on that?
The complexity of this whole thing. You think you understand the sport itself, or you think you understand the marketing side of any business. But when you look at the number of details that need to be worked out to pull off an event of this size, the number of people who have to be coordinated on the same page to make it successful, the level of teamwork and cooperation that we each have to have, it's impressive. As this sport continues to grow and move forward, it'll be because of the collective effort of everybody in the pit lane, across the paddock, and in the home office back in Indy.
We were talking about that, in fact, on the air yesterday, not just with regard to the teams themselves, but with regard to everybody. I mean, it requires an enormous effort to put one of these events together. A lot of moving parts, actually. The other thing that's kind of gotten my attention, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it seems that on social media, I'm seeing a lot more from the drivers, a lot more interesting information.
Well, we're working on them a bit. It started last year around the Sonoma race. Mm-hmm. We took about 80% of the field to Facebook for a bit of a training program.
Oh, neat.
And they got a chance to look behind the scenes and understand how their systems work and how to better leverage Facebook on behalf of them in the league. And then this year, we're providing them with some incremental assets, whether it be video or still images that they can share, storylines that they may be eager to develop, just to help expand their own efforts, engage with their fans, and, of course, then grow interest in IndyCar.
Much of what you do, the whole marketing side, involves the metrics. What kind of results were you reaching? What are you getting? How does that work in the social media world for you?
Well, it's easy to track followers. It's easy to track the level of communication in any one of those genres of social media, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or even YouTube views. We put a metric against each every weekend. We look at how we compare to the prior year, and we've seen growth 30, 40, 50%, depending on which of those you're trying to make reference to. It's been a good secondary measure of fan engagement, primary being attendance and TV viewership or radio listeners, but it's moving again in the right direction and another sign of our overall health.
One last thing before we let you go. We know your day's very busy, as is your entire weekend, but there are two sides to sponsorship, and in visiting with team owners and crew chiefs and whatnot, you understand this a little better as you start doing a little more digging. When it comes to what sponsorships and motorsports can do, there is, of course, that adage that it increases visibility in a product for the consumer. However, there are also sponsorship opportunities that are more business to business. Can you explain the difference between those two?
Yeah, let's take a shot at it.
Okay.
Business to business is typically more along the lines of using the event itself as a way of bringing people together. You think about maybe the most common idea that people have in their mind of what happens on the golf course, the deals that get done there.
Sure. It
can happen here too, and it's just another great way to engage your clientele bring them together for an event that's both focused on business as well as sport, and make certain that you build relationships and occasionally close a good deal.
Good.
If there's one thing Firestone's learned over its 100 years in racing, it's that if you don't keep moving forward, you're going to get left behind. So even though Firestone has more Indy 500 wins than any other tire on the planet, we're always more concerned with what we've done for you lately. That's why we're constantly trying to make our tires stronger, last longer, and handle better than ever. And we bring that same commitment to every tire we make, whether it's for the racetrack or for the open road. Whatever you drive a Firestone.
And away we go! What is it about speed to rival Ryan Hunter-Ray, James Hinchcliffe,
He's lighting it up!
or Marco Andretti? Chase speed because they can,
That's a 360!
or because they can't help it?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
IndyCar,
What a jump!
the heart of racing.
Believe what you just seen!
The Verizon IndyCar Series, the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama, April 24th to 26th. Get tickets, BarberMotorsports.com.
Hi, this is Paul Page, and we are back live from NOLA Motorsports Park in New Orleans. And just a few seconds ago, the word came to us that qualifying is now officially canceled, and we have no idea beyond that what they plan to do, but none of it will happen today. So let me give you the schedule so that you can anticipate what may happen and when something might come up. We are next on the air, scheduled Eastern Time at noon tomorrow. That is scheduled for the IndyCar warm-up. We don't know. Maybe that changes. Maybe they actually run a qualifying, but that's pure supposition. We have no idea whatsoever. If you're in the New Orleans area, of course, we're talking Central Time, and therefore 11 o'clock in the morning. The race itself is scheduled Eastern Time for 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. That's 2 o'clock here in the New Orleans area. And by then, I'm assuming they will have qualifying totally figured out, and we will have a race to run, and it will be a great opportunity for all of us to see the second race of this season. So the IndyCar warm-up final comes at 12 noon tomorrow, followed by the IndyCar race at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Paul Page, on behalf of all the gang here, thanks for sticking with us. We're going to go try and dry out now, and we look forward to seeing you for the Indy Grand Prix of Louisiana coverage with the warm-up first thing tomorrow morning. Thanks for joining us.
IndyCar Radio on the IMS Radio Network.
A.J. Foyt down the main straightaway. The checkered flag is out. A.J.'s hand in the air. He is the winner. A.J. Foyt at Indianapolis has won his fourth 500-mile race. A.J. Foyt, our winner. The flag will fly now for Tom Sneva and then for Al Unser. We will be talking with all of these drivers in just a moment.
And we await A.J. Foyt along with a host of others, including Tony Holman, who is cheering as loudly as the crowd. We've seen what has never been seen before, beginning with a woman driving in the field in the morning, and A.J. finishing 4 up front at Indianapolis. Headed into victory lane now, A.J. Foyt and the gleaming Gilmore 14 Coyote, the Gilmore Racing Team, home, and he wins again.
And there's the checkered flag for Mark Donahue, winner of the 1972 Indianapolis 500-mile race.
Oh my goodness, we have 7, 8, 10 cars in a pack.